Hello everyone, I'm Erika of beadingschool.com and you are watching Coffee Time with Erika, my weekly beady broadcast. I hope that you can hear me and I hope that you can see me. Today we are going to talk about colors and combining colors in beadwork. I will share with you how do I think when I'm combining colors. I will show you some examples and actually you can tell me about the color you struggle with to find combinations for, and I will do my best to help you out. I see lovely beaders joining. I see the Easleys from Texas. I see Catherine, also from Texas. I see Cindy. I see Antoinette saying Happy Tuesday. Kata is here. Sherry, Facebook user friend. Sandra, Louisa. Louisa says, I can see and hear you. Wonderful. Thank you, Louisa. Linda, Corinne, Rachel, Donna, Lita, Shelly's here, and a bunch of Facebook user friends. So you can watch today's video live as all the Beading School videos from the Beading School Facebook page, from the Facebook club, from YouTube, from my own profile. And if you are watching from the Beading School Club, which is a closed safe space on the internet for Beading School beaders, then you might need to give additional permission to my broadcasting program to see your name and see your profile. The reason why I use the program is so I am able to, for example, share pictures, show you my hand camera, actually be there on YouTube and on Facebook at the same time. And if you give permission to the program to see your name, then I will be able to make it personal if you have a question. And I think it's just a lot nicer to spend time if I see you too. But it's completely up to you. And the link, if you open the description of the video, that is like the text about the video, then the last sentence, it has the link that you can click. It takes only like 2 seconds, so I hope that it's not too much trouble. I also see Cindy in the meanwhile, Wendy, Miriam, I see you. Connie, Timmy is here, Gisela, Katja, Liv is here. I don't see your name only from your text. Debbie, Jen, Terry, and Robin. So, hello, lovely readers, and I hope you are excited. Let's talk about colors. So, in my opinion, colors are the primary factor that determines the effect that a jewel has on us. That effect can be anything that you can imagine. It can be a happy jewel, it can be a dramatic one, a serious one. You can see that jewel was inspired by nature, and so on. In my opinion, the complete spectrum of our emotions and our whole surroundings can be reflected by what we wear and what we make on our bead mats. At the start of our beading journeys, colors are the easiest to personalize. Even if you feel unsure about a new stitch at the beginning, you can make different variations of the same design while getting comfortable with the technique. Simply by changing the colors, you can make the jewel fit an elegant evening, a romantic night, a theater visit, make it appeal to your nature lover side, or have a playful outcome with an unusual combination. So if you look at the screen, then I brought up 4 versions of the same jewel. The jewel is called Adelaida, and I designed it for our Swedish beaders during the Stockholm bead along. And the bottom left is a bit smaller, but it's just a variation of the same. But if you look at these four, then what would you say? What kind of emotions do they reflect for you? So if we start with the blue one in the top corner, what would you say? Or what kind of evening, what kind of occasion would you wear it to? Liv, don't worry if you can't click the link. If you put your name like that, then it's also wonderful, so I can see you. And I see also Malia and Helena. For Miriam, the blue version is winter and snow. For Robin, it's romantic. For Lita, too. Carol. And for Debbie, it's for a more formal evening with the cool blue tones. For Malia, on the other hand, it would fit jeans and a white t-shirt. So I already really love how you bring up your own personal impressions, because colors just as everything that is aesthetic, it's also very personal. So it's completely fine if you have a different opinion than fellow beaders. And if we move on to the next one with the turquoise quartertillas and the orange bronze pearls, and then a bit of purple, a bit of fuchsia, a bit of silver, what would you say about this second one? What kind of emotions does this variation bring to you? And where would you wear it? I'm curious. Oh, Miriam says, this is summer and long drink at a beach bar. Oh, I can totally imagine that, dear Miriam. And hi, Cindy. Terry also would go to the beach. Terry and Miriam, we have the beach ladies. Katja, on the other hand, would wear this one with a black t-shirt. For Catherine, it's fun and festive. For Deb, it evokes spring. For Cindy, it's bold and fun, but also like everyday wear. For Helena, funky summer. Debbie also says fun, jeans, boho dress, summer. Rachel says a beautiful weekend in Greece. Oh, so nice. Then let's move on to the third one with the yellow and the pink and a little bit of purple tones. What does this jewel, the small variation of the same design, tell to you? For Gunnar, it's about love. For Wendy, I get a summery, relaxed feeling. For Cindy, it's romantic. And Terry says, I love this one because it is dainty and feminine with the punks. For Linda, it's date night. Okay, ladies, I'm not sure we are talking about the same one, because some of you say simple and romantic and delicate and feminine. So I'm not talking about the purple and brownish, but about the yellow and like orangish, pinkish tones. But of course, we can completely differ. For me, when I was designing these color combinations, then the big one in the bottom row, that would be like the romantic version. And the smaller one, the yellow and pinkish orangish, I was thinking of a bit crazier combination, fun girls' night out, but of course it's completely personal. And learning to work with colors is actually a never ending story. And I would like to emphasize before we would start that I actually have no formal education in color theory. What I know, I learned from my own experience by trying, failing, trying again, not giving up, and gradually getting more and more comfortable. So, how I think about putting together color combinations is the result of beading and then beading some more, and along the way starting to recognize the how to and why does that work or why does something else doesn't behind the actual examples of jewels that I have made. And the same journey is open to you, of course, and I can promise that feeling secure about choosing colors is definitely something that is possible to improve. We get lots of questions about colors from time to time when, for example, starting to work with new bead shapes. But I am super happy to see how you get more and more comfortable as time passes and you post new and new jewels in the club. So whenever you need help, then all you need to do is actually just ask a question in the beading school club, and on the other hand, offer a helping hand when a fellow beader needs advice. Because brainstorming together is super rewarding, and no matter if you were the first beader to ask or you join the conversation later, you will enjoy it just as much, I can promise. And there are actually theories and tools, color wheel, for example, that make it easier to select colors. But I think it's very nice to just be playful also, and to choose colors based on what's coming from inside. And of course, it's wonderful if you can find a good book and the time to read it. But don't push yourself and just experiment and observe the world around you and the fellow beaders in the club. And that is already a very nice experience and a way to learn. Indeed, as Kristen says, I find color combinations from looking at fabrics. And indeed, colors are everywhere, and the inspiration for colors are everywhere around you. I prepared a few examples for you where I took some color inspiration from. So it can be, of course, from art. And some of you might remember the Starry Night collection, all the blues and the gold tones with just a tiny bit of silver, inspired by Van Gogh's famous painting, The Starry Night. Then, on the other hand, I have here an earring. The colors for this one were actually not selected by me, but a good friend who asked me to make a special jewel for her. And her inspiration was a beautiful sunset over the ocean. And then a third one. And some of you might remember this third one. A few years back, I think it was 2 years ago, Pantone announced a new color combination for the year. And that color combination, it was 2021. That color combination was yellow and gray. And actually, I took it as a challenge, and I know that I remember that many beaders joined me on that challenge, and we got very, very friendly with this color combination. There was also a time when I asked you to select your colors for No One Has to Bead Alone reading workshops with a closed eye. And I think that was also a fun way to get more comfortable with colors. During the first week of the month, we were selecting one color for the jewel with closed eyes, then the next week, two colors, and the third week, three colors. So I remember that it was a kind of a scary experience, but also very rewarding how at the end we made those colors somehow work, even if at first they didn't seem to work together. In the meanwhile, also, Gisela says, selecting colors is hard work for me. And Sandra joined us, and Camilla. And Terry says, to me, colors are music and they sing to my heart. It is my favorite part of beading. Terry, that's beautifully said. And in fact, for me, also, like sometimes colors come first, and then I select shapes that are available in the colors that I want to work with, because I simply just enjoy playing with colors. And Anita joined us, and Wendy says, that would be so scary about selecting colors with closed eyes. It's not that hard, I think, than as it seems, but at first it's indeed scary. And Gemma joined us, and Christiana and Jeannie, and Rachel says, I love the idea of blind color selection. You can do it anytime, Rachel. So, before I would go to your ideas and your questions about specific colors, then I just would like to share something about the beginnings of my beading journey. And I looked up one of the pictures, which were, I think, one of my first bead embroidery pieces. And this might be a bit surprising to see, but at the beginning of my beading journey, I combined everything with black. So all my jewels, they were either black and red, or black and blue, black and green, and nothing else. Adding silver there, this was already an improvement. And only after a few months of beading, I started to add a second color, a third color, and then at one moment, somehow I stopped adding the black. I did not even recognize that moment, but then it somehow started to like fade away from my beadwork. In the meanwhile, Erika joined us also, and Debbie says, I love selecting colors. It's one of the things that drew me to beads. My creative outlet, having a background in interior design. Oh, that's really great, Debbie, that you have a creative job that actually supports your creating in your free time. Cindy is asking, I'm going to ask a different question. What happens if the person selecting colors is colorblind? Unfortunately, I can't give an answer to that. I don't know how to how to answer that, but if someone knows here's a person who's colorblind, then maybe you can test it. And Samia says, same in general, the colors come to me first, and I see what shapes of beads I have in that color. So I'm not alone. So let's move on to some specific advice, which I would like to share with you. So I have basically 3 tricks when it comes to selecting colors. And you might be familiar with my tricks if you are a Bidding School Academy student, because when doing my really my best to put together a beautiful color combination for you, then I apply these tricks that work for me well all the time to make sure that you get a beautiful new collection of beads. So my first trick to make a color combination, even if it's unusual work, is to add metallics. They elevate, in my opinion, even the craziest color combinations. And that's why the flowers in the hair collection worked so well, despite the many different colors. We had pink, fuchsia, turquoise, purple, green, yellow, but then there was also gold and different shades of bronze that tied together the whole color combination. So, ladies, do you have a favorite metallic that you like to use this way to make a color combination elegant? I'm curious about your favorite metallic or your favorite neutral tone that you can turn to. For me, it's the metallic bronze, for example, from Miyuki, and also a similar dark bronze shade from the check beads, but also I got really fond of the metallic matte silver from Miyuki, for example. For Antoinette, she says, light bronze is my favorite. Then Terry says, I love gold. For Gunel, it's bronze. For Shelley, it's silver, a darker or a shinier silver, and matte or shiny. Kristen is also team bronze. For Linda, it's silver or nickel. Helena is team gold. Lita says nickel silver or dark gold. Camilla says silver and silver lined or pewter. Linda says my favorite is usually bronze or gold. Rachel says, yes, I also put metallics in everything. I love silver, but lately I have really enjoyed bronze. Sherry is also for bronze. And Robin says, I tend to use shiny gold or silver, but I'm learning how to use other colors now from beading school. Montaigne actually uses blue slate as a neutral. Oh, and then Cindy says rose gold. That's a beautiful one. Catherine is also for rose gold. Miriam, silver or gold. Gisela, silver and bronze. Debbie says, I love mixing Aztec gold and silver. And Anita is team hematite. And Corinne is also for rose gold lately. For Linda, the bronze brings an antique look. Oh, Dawn, get well soon. So that was my first trick, using metallics. My second trick, we briefly touched it. It's actually mixing matte and shiny. So I don't only think about actual colors like yellow and red and green, but I am also thinking about different kind of surfaces. So I think when something is 100% sparkly, then nothing stands out. When something is 100% matte, then maybe that jewel will end up being a bit flat. And that is not something that I would like to achieve. I like to add depth to my jewels. So Here you can see in the Sassafraga pendant that I am actually mixing a matte cabochon and then shiny seed beads, some more matte tones from Miyuki, and then 2 times AB Preciosa bicons. So it's not only about combining colors, but also combining different surfaces. And then my third trick for me, when I have a beady question about colors, then turquoise solves everything. And totally honestly, I'm saying that I can't imagine a color that doesn't go with turquoise. But this also brings me to a super important thought that colors are very, very personal. And it's absolutely okay to say that you don't share my opinion about turquoise. You might like one color, don't like another, or just don't like it in a specific combination. So all is well when our opinions differ. And I'm curious, do you have a color that is your go-to color? Like for me, turquoise, that is not like a neutral color, but for you, it works in many, many, many different combinations. Samia, in the meanwhile, says that she also likes copper besides gold. And Lita, turquoise or chicken shit green. Also, chicken shit green is avocado green is my big time favorite. For Miriam, I knew Miriam. She says turquoise is my favorite too. And Wendy says, I made earrings for my sister with glossy super duos, matte metallic charcoal, matte black, and jet bicons. And love how cohesive but visually interesting those earrings are. So indeed, and thank you so much for sharing that, Wendy, about the different kind of surfaces, the matte and shiny. And Sherry says turquoise is magic for me. For Debbie, it's blue. For Linda, turquoise. Facebook user friend, dark olive and rosy pink. That sounds amazing. Donna says turquoise and copper together. And Cindy says, I agree, colors are personal. I think that it also depends on your skin tone as well. And you are absolutely right. And Rachel says, I am very comfortable with almost all colors. It's just a specific shade that I can't seem to be comfortable with, neons. Any color of neon, I just never reach for them. No, Rachel, neons didn't even come to my mind today when I was preparing for our meeting. And I was thinking about possibilities. So I actually share your opinion, and I just realized this about neons, that they are not even on my horizon. But for Rachel, she says mauve or purple often. Terry is drawn to greens and blues, and Ingrid says, I love clear blues and also turquoise. Love white, gold, and orange. And Helena says, I always go to turquoise and purple. Belinda loves teal. Corinne likes grass green, pink, and turquoise. And Wendy likes amethyst shades. So after this nice beginning, let's play and let's see what kind of color combinations can we come up with together. So my idea is that, as you can see, we all have our challenging colors. Maybe it's neons, maybe it's black and white, maybe it's red, green, whatever, yellow, orange, it's also just as different for each of us as our favorites. And I would like to ask you to play today together, and let's help out each other with our challenging colors. So this is what we are going to do. You can tell me a color that you find challenging, and I will try to make up a color combination for it. Also, of course, with the help of our beaders watching here. So when I start thinking about a color, then let's make it like a collective thing. And of course, please share your thoughts about it. So when you tell me a color, then please don't say a very specific shade like a Miyuki color number, because I have a limited stash and I might not be able to find it. But please stick to a category like light red, dark blue, and so on, to make sure that I can find it in my stash. And what should be the result? That either I will pull up some finished jewels on the screen that I already made with that color, or I will try to put together something from my beads and show it on my hand camera. So let's see what is challenging for you. Ginny indeed says, I have trouble putting colors together, just overwhelming to me. And you are not alone, Ginny. I can say that. Wendy says orange, and also Facebook user friend says orange. So that is the first color that actually popped into my eyes when I look at the comments. So let's see what can we do about orange tones. So let's focus now on orange, and also please share your ideas. And in the meanwhile, I will also pull up a jewel, because actually I expected orange. So I prepared a jewel where I used orange, and which might be a surprising color combination, but what in my opinion totally works. So the orange honeycomb beads, this is by the way the jewel called Amsterdam, the Amsterdam bracelet. So I used here orange honeycombs, and then of course there is my go-to turquoise, but then I wanted to make this deeper and add a darker spot, so I went for a purple velvet Rivoli, and then there are some transparent very light blue beads on the edge. And then, as you can see, after putting together all these crazy colors, I pulled them together by using two different kinds of silver shades, a matte and a shiny, the nickel tone from Miyuki. And there is some bronze as the finding, and also between the seed beads. And Malia says, I tend to pair orange with turquoise and white, my sister's favorite, or I go sunset with reds and yellow and purple. Malia, that sounds wonderful. And when talking about that, then just let's go back for a second to the jewel that I showed earlier. So indeed, as Malia says, sunset colors work for orange. So here we have a crystal astral pink Rivoli, and then purples and pinks and yellows for those sunset tones. And I will also switch to my hand camera. And let's see how that other suggested combination of the orange, turquoise, and white would look like, if I can find any white beads in my stash, because I'm not sure about that. Oh, okay. And then, yes, I just looked to the side, I have a bunch of paisley duos here. And actually, I have here a bunch of white paisley duos. That was a surprise. So let's see, how does it look like with orange. I'm trying to find some orange beads quickly. So here are the same orange honeycombs, and then some blue. I have here some light blue table cut beads, all kinds of different shades. So how do you like this, ladies? I love Malia's suggestion. I think it looks great. And hi, Martika. And then another color combination suggested by Belinda would be orange with yellow and hot pink. So let's see, how does that look like? So here we have the orange beads, and then let's grab some yellow, and let's grab some hot pink. Let's see, what do I have here? I knew I could turn to my collection of 27 millimeter round cabochons. So indeed, I love it, Belinda. Thank you so much for this suggestion. I think it works really, really well. And Martika says, orange is my color now. Before it was red and black. However, during spring, my colors are turquoise, light blue, salmon, and lavender. During summer, it is red, yellow, blue, green, and purple, like a rainbow. And I think that's so nice that you brought it up, that it also can change for us during our lifetime, but also from season to season. So it's not something steady. So I think we have at least 3 nice combinations for orange. So let's see another color that you find challenging. If you posted it earlier, then please post it again so I find it. And let's look at another color that you find challenging to work with. Miriam says about this that this is a lovely and warm combination. And Robin says, I think it makes a difference. The shade of orange, reddish orange, is much prettier to me than yellowish orange. Totally. And Facebook user friend says that for her, chicken shit is challenging. And I can promise that I will have no trouble finding chicken shit in my stash, because there are plenty. And actually, I found right away 2 different shades of chicken shit. This is more chicken shit, I would say. This is more like chicken shitty olive. So let's stick to this one. So let's see, what can we do with chicken shit? I actually have a jewel that I'm really, really liked in the past, and I used this specific bead. Here it is. Just a moment. Kata is suggesting add dark blue and silver. And indeed, I think dark blue makes even such a color that this specific shade of green look elegant. And it would work also with silver totally. as Kata suggested, but in this case I have the example with matte brown and then dark browns, and despite such a controversial color, I dare to say that this is elegant. Ah, Wendy! As one who grew up on a farm, it comes in a lot of shades. Indeed. Totally. And Lita is suggesting chicken shit and purple. Let's see. I couldn't agree more, Lita. Let's see what kind of purple would it work with. I think I would prefer a darker shade of purple, like the fire polished beads that we have in the Sibylla collection, or even better, the paisley duos, you know, the darker type of paisley duos that we had here. This would totally work, I think. And then Connie is suggesting salmon, and I think even together these three shades would make up a super nice color combination. Terry is already saying chicken shit and peachy colors. So look at this. This would be great, I think. And then Montaigne suggests fuchsia already here on the bead mat. And I think that's a beautiful color combination. And Gemma would add even bronze and yellow. And that kind of brings me back to the flowers in the hair collection, and it works. It was a darker shade of chicken shit, but it totally would work with this slightly lighter one too. And then Kata says gray and fuchsia. So let's see if I just grab what is really, really close to me. I mean the mess on my table everywhere around my bead mat. Sarah, are you listening? So I'm adding the pearlescent gray nacre pearls that were in the box, and this is also great together. And Lita says chicken shit is the universal color. It used to be my universal color besides turquoise. And Martika says any shade of blue goes with it perfectly. I like bronze with it too. Salmon goes well with that green. Or Ginny says sunflower yellow. Yeah, I would add here a bit of darker tones like the dark browns, but totally. So Martika says gray goes well with any color. It is a universal color. Totally. And actually we had a very interesting question at the beginning, which I don't want to overlook. And Caroline says, I was a tomboy and my mom always tried to force me into pink to make me girly. So I am very anti-pink. Is there any way to gradually help me to start including it in my beadwork? And lovelies, I really, really like Caroline's question, and thank you for asking this. And let's see if we can help Caroline somehow. Caroline, by the way, do you have a specific shade of pink that you have on your mind? Is it like a stronger pink, or is it maybe a softer pink like this one? And Wendy says in the meanwhile, this is opening my mind up regarding color. Thank you, Wendy. You make me like So excited and so happy with what you wrote. And Kata, thank you so much for the advice. She says, Caroline, begin with just the smallest percentage of the beads you use, one tone. And actually, besides doing that, what comes to my mind, what for me makes pink a color that I like to use from time to time. By the way, there is one thing I hear often that, you're so cute, but there is a thing, I don't like to be cute, and I don't like pink things, and I'm like, deep inside, I'm still a rocker girl from my high school times, and how I loved to like pink and accept it in my overall like way of dressing and being, that I add gray and silver and actually black to it, and then it's like a proper kick-ass color combination, and not a girly sweet cute tone. And Caroline says in the meanwhile, I have avoided any and all pink. I'm thinking the stronger would be easier for me, maybe. Then let's stay with the fuchsia. And let's see what kind of suggestions would we have for Caroline. By the way, Kristen says, I too have struggled with wearing girly pink, but I have started with a powdery pink color from beading school. And Maria says, punk rock. Yes. So let's select a last color combination for Caroline using the fuchsia, and let's try to make it look like not girly sweet, and there is nothing wrong with girly sweet pink tones. It's just something that we would like to help with. So if you like romantic vibes for pink tones, then it's absolutely fine. But now we are helping Caroline, so let's focus on getting together a different effect. And Wendy indeed says fuchsia, black and gray, strong and kick-ass in my opinion. So let's see. I have some black. I would put matte black to the fuchsia. I would not put, by the way, somehow this shiny black. I don't like this shiny black, by the way. Why do I have these beads? Probably as just samples. So let's look for a matte black. I'm pretty sure I will have it from Hartilas or from Delica. Oh yes, of course, this one. And then something like the pewter maybe. Or this one, just with a tiny bit of silver. What do you say to this, Caroline? So this is one possible color combination. But then I also really like what Samia is suggesting, that navy blue would go well. So let's see another color. Let's find something navy blue here. I have here Miyuki Opaque Soft Blue. Okay, this when I put it here, then it looks more purplish than navy blue. In real life, it's a bit different. I have the royal blue from Jardin Majorelle. So to this, I would add maybe a bit of bronze. And I think this would also work nicely. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Samia. So I hope that you found this super fun. I really enjoyed playing with you. And just a little bit of final advice for the end. My best practice. So choose your favorite metallics, your universal colors. And these are nice to have from all kinds of shapes and sizes of seed beads and fire polished beads, for example. Like for me, it's this bronze stone I kept showing, and I have it from size 15, size 11 round seed beads, but also from Miyuki Delica and similar tones of fire polished beads. And then my second piece of advice would be trying to determine which are your like total complete favorites, that color never fails you. Like for me, turquoise or chicken shit, but it can be anything, pink, blue, yellow, but have a reliable color that you can pull out every time when you are thinking about a color combination, because it will make you feel comfortable. Even when you are trying a new stitch, a new bead shape, a new shape of cabochon, when you have that comforting point on your, or comforting momentum on your bead mat that I love this color, it will make your learning process so much easier, even if not on a conscious level, but believe me, it totally works. And then my third piece of advice would be to gift yourself some happy beads just because you like them. Even if you say like, I never work with yellow, but then you see that, oh my god, this yellow cabochon is beautiful, go for it. Maybe if you, and keep it as a gift, don't, of course, like you don't have to give yourself a gift every day. Then if we eat cake every day, then we will not enjoy the sweetness of it anymore, I think. But if you really are drawn to something, then go for it. The time will come when you will learn to work with it, or your fellow beaders in the club will help you out. I'm 100% sure. And that beautiful, happy bead will keep you motivated and keep you excited. So those would be my three main pieces, but I also have two additional ones. One of them is don't underestimate the tiny beads. So even if it is just a tiny spot in your beadwork, then don't underestimate it in your beadwork. So for example, if you would like to have some more colorful true two beads, then in the meanwhile, please let me show you that Timmy and Edina and Henny and Bea, they were working in the background and they added, I was really looking forward to this one. We have now a lot bigger selection of true to fire polished beads, and they are truly just small pieces in your beadwork, but super handy to have. We use them actually a lot in different kinds of bezels lately, and they can make a difference in your beadwork. They are also available now as a bundle. I was focusing on the chalk white based true to fire polished beads, but there are also some other tones. And then my next advice would be also to think about your findings, your metal components. And I will put back my hand camera for a while, because I think this is also very nice to acknowledge that even if for many of us beaders, metal findings and putting on a clasp, putting on an earring hook, it is something that once we have done the motif, we are sometimes avoiding to do, but it can also be just as much fun as selecting the colors for your beadwork. So I wanted to show this as an example, that I have here this unfinished piece of beadwork, and I prepared some historic filigrees from my stash, most of them in the same shape, so the shape does not make a difference. But let's just look at it for a tiny bit, that how much the color of the metal changes also that overall effect that your jewel has. So, for example, if I put this on this shiny silver filigree, then it's elegant, it's very luxurious, I think. It would not work for my personal taste for 100%, but if you are in a wintry, snowy mood, then this would be perfect, I think. Then if I put the same motif on an antique silver filigree instead the shiny one, then the vibe is completely different already. Then it gets that vintagey antique touch, and I would totally go for this. But still we are on the cold tone side. The Crystal AB Precioso drop, it gives it a bit of warm touch, but still we are on the cold tones. And then when I put it on a black historic filigree, then it gets all this drama and romance and like this serious mood. And then I have a gold one, and I'm not saying that this would work completely with all of them, but I just wanted to demonstrate that how much the effect changes once you change the color of your metal findings. So this is a golden one, a very royal look. And then I have here red copper, and also this is a different shape because I don't have that shape in antique bronze anymore. So that also matters a lot, actually. For example, for Rachel, the black works. So, and for Miriam too. So indeed, we have personal preferences, and don't be afraid to go for them. The metal findings, they can be really, really nice final touches, and also they can bring a little piece of extra color to your beadwork. Like some metal findings come already with cubic zirconia or some glass settings that can add a little bit of extra, or you can make it colorful. For example, if you glue on, we were talking a lot about this shape last week. If you glue on your metal finding a chaton rose or maybe a half whole pearl, then that can also change the overall effect of your beadwork. And just to go back a little bit to what the ladies of the treasury have prepared for you, then I would like to show you that now, if you want to add a little bit of color by adding a colorful metal finding, then you can also find these oval mirror ear studs that were in the purple tone in the Sibylla box in many other colors now in the bead shop, also as a bundle for a better price. Besides that, the ladies restocked paisley duos, as you can see, added some super nice 12mm round rivolis in shiny colors. Then there are the true twos, and from last week, from Friday, a silk ribbon bundle in romantic colors. And Rachel is asking which size chaton rose was used on that picture. It was the smaller one, the 7mm one. And Joanna is here also, and Joyce joined us in the meanwhile. And enjoy your holiday very much, Joanna. Lita says she can't see anything in the bead shop. Let me check it. It should be all in the new in the bead shop category to make it easy for you to find. Can you check it one more time maybe? Because on my screen it works well. Gunnar also says not me either. Linda says she sees them. Maybe Cindy also doesn't see them. Maybe try clearing your browser history. That's it. That usually is a solution. Yeah, for some beaders it works. So or someone is teasing us, they are some in my cart. So you might need to okay, Kata says not the bead shop, but your camera showing the bead shop. Oh, okay. Then I'm super sorry about that. It was good on my side. No, I'm not showing it now. Now I'm trying to show it. But I think I will leave you to it. We made sure that you see it in the bead shop, so all is well. And I would like to thank you for your enthusiasm today. It was so much fun. I would also love to... Okay, it's not working. Then I will not force it. I will put back the nice filigree. I would also very much thank you from the bottom of my heart for your bead orders. Also, as a thank you, you will receive for last week's orders that qualify for the gift. Tomorrow, Veronka's bust tutorial, and soon some new ones will be added, so you can make even more from your Sibylla box. By the way, Lita says, just want to say the postal service between Slovakia and the US is super speedy, getting my boxes in a week. Lita, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. That's really fun. So thank you, lovelies, for today. And on Friday, I am looking forward to beading with you a new design from Ruxandra Pushkash. We will meet in the usual time, and we will bead this cute butterfly from Ruxandra. What I would like to ask you is that as a homework, please bezel the 8mm shop tone with peyote stitch, starting with 22 pieces of Miyuki Delica. If you have any questions about it, please let me know. We have a gift tutorial for peyote stitch waiting for you in the bead shop, and I'm always there to help. So I'm looking forward to bead this with you. The material list is already on the event page at Beading School. gmail.com. So thank you, lovelies. I am happy that you liked it, and I'm looking forward to Friday and next week's coffee time again. Bye bye, everyone.